Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. My name is John, your host as always, and I hope you're doing well as I always do. This is my instant reaction video to Jim White and Simon Jordan chatting to Philip Beard on Talksport about the PAI capital takeover of West Ham bid. As always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear, guys, as you can see from the icon that's up here, along with Admiral and Umbro, Clout and Blue track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts, so go check those out as well. Any retro shirt you purchase, guys, will be between 5 and 15 quid cheaper than the club shop, so it makes the most sense. Go and grab yourself a really nice retro shirt, because any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, I'll be sending directly onto Iron Supporting Food Banks, the charity in the Newham area that are helping those in the Newham area that are reliant on food banks. So go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt, save yourself a few quid, and your money will be going towards those that are less fortunate than you and I. Now, thank you very much to Luke from the Three Hammers for putting the audio clip up, because to be honest with you, I didn't really know about the conversation. A friend of mine sent a message to our group chat saying fuck off PAI, and I asked him what was going on and said Philip Beard was on Talksport. So he put the audio up. It's 2/3 of the conversation, but you can pretty much get the gist of what's going on. Now, as you guys know, for those who've been watching the channel for the last few years, I'm not a big fan of Talksport in any shape or form. They chat a lot of shit. But when Simon Jordan is talking about West Ham in this context, I have to agree with him for a lot of things that he's been saying. Now, he made it very, very clear for a couple of times in that conversation that he has issue with David Sullivan and David Gold. And as the old adage goes, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. And Simon Jordan went to town on Philip Beard, really did. Very politely, you know, criticising him as much as possible, because he knows what it's like to buy a football club. You know, he went in there and he said, well, basically, throughout some of the conversation, he went, well, if you're coming on here, and I'm paraphrasing here, you're coming on here, but you're being hypocritical, because you're coming on here to talk about transparency, yet you can't be transparent with what's been discussed. He's absolutely right with that. Also, Jim White at the start of it was chatting shit, quite frankly, because he says that, you know, the West Ham fans want more than the top 6 finish. No, we don't. No, we don't. We want a club that's being run properly. But the irritating thing about this, right, is right at the start of the conversation, Philip Beard is talking more about the England cricket than West Ham winning at Newcastle for the first time in 3 years. Doesn't mention it at all. Jim White has to mention about the fact that West Ham went up to Newcastle and won, and he went absolutely and kept going on about cricket. Philip Beard also said that he fully respects Sullivan's choice to change the price tag, and yeah, you know, because this is a platform for him to try and schmooze Sullivan at the same point, but to label his point at the same point as well. But he shot himself a lot in the foot, a lot, during this conversation. As like, for example, he was saying about proof of funds were being presented, whereas Simon Jordan went off to say that actually I found out through various contacts that it was actually a proof of funds presented by a bank letter. And he said if you got money to spend, you write them a check, or words to that effect. So absolutely right, Simon Jordan really is. I don't like the man in any shape or form. I think he's an absolute egocentric maniac, but he's right. He's absolutely right with this. Philip Beard did also say that they are preparing a second bid and wouldn't disclose the value of the second bid for obvious reasons. He goes on to talk about the Brentford model, whereas Simon Jordan says, well, the reason why they got to beat Arsenal 2-0 in the way that they did is they pushed their £200 million in debt. You know, and he mentions the 20% investment that Palace have had of was it 50-60 million pound, which makes the price of Palace to be about 500, 600 million pounds. So this is the sort of this. He basically, Simon Jordan basically says to him, this is the ballpark of where you're looking at with football clubs now. Are you able to match that sort of value? Didn't mention a word. Didn't say a thing. He mentioned about if West Ham are bought by them and they own the stadium, that they would have any money received from the external events like the gigs and all that sort of stuff that would go into invest into West Ham. He went on to talking about adapting the stadium, but it was going on about boxes, which Simon Jordan picked up. So the average West Ham fan won't give a monkeys about a corporate box. It's all business to him. Simon Jordan mentioned no positivity of West Ham over the weekend or about any of the players. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was a business pitch once again. And it really, really worries me. But there's just no mention of what that could be in terms of moving forward. So I hate to say this, guys, because I'm GSB out, but I always said at the same time I would only want the right people to come in, and I said it with the previous video last week, and I'm saying it again today. It doesn't. The more information that's coming out, the less I'm convinced by PAI Capital, and as a lot of fans are saying, everybody just should shut up, do it behind closed doors. And we only find out about the investment, about the takeover, just as the paperwork is going through. It's not this. I can't see this PAI Capital deal going through. I really can't, because the more they're exposing themselves through the media and certain guys is either social or audio, the more they're making themselves look massively amateurish. Really, really mudslinging. I did say at the very, very first video when they came out with their first statement that this was a tennis match between Sullivan and Beard, and it's continuing on this way. It really has been right from that start. So guys, thank you very, very much for your time. I'm putting together the notes for the Leicester preview, so that'll be available on Patreon tomorrow, aka Wednesday, and will be available on YouTube on Thursday night. So keep an eye out for those. As always, guys, give me your thoughts on this. Are you getting sick and tired of this now? Give me your thoughts. I am. This, as I say, for me, I can't see any light at the end of this tunnel. It's public bickering. At the end of the day, Sullivan doesn't want to sell the club at this point. Fine. If he doesn't want to sell, there's nothing much more we can do as a fan base. We can put pressure on them in terms of demonstrations and various guises, various polite guises as well, for that matter. No thuggery or anything like that to say that we're not happy with how they're running the club, but we can't make him sell. He won't sell for at least 18 months. You watch, at least 18 months. So anyway, guys, thank you very, very much for your time. As always, put your comments in the comments section below. Apologies if you can hear that. One of my neighbours is starting to cut their lawn. So, as I say, I will see you on Thursday night for the preview for Leicester, or Wednesday for if you're a Patreon. Otherwise, I'm going to try and do some half-time and full-time reactions at the London Stadium as it happens. So, hopefully, as long as the Wi-Fi is up for that, we'll do it. But you'll see it in more detail later on. So, in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves, take care, and I'll see you soon. All the best.